It's an absolute blast. Every time you take a corner at like high speeds, it puts a smile on your face. So my name is Armin, and the car I drive is an F80 M3. So far I have arm down pipes, arm single mid-pipe conversion, the DIN and heat exchanger up front, MMR charge pipes just because they're known to break, so I thought it was a good upgrade to knock out right away. And then the MMR dress-up kit, which is like a billet oil filter housing, thermostat lids, and stuff like that. I mainly did that because the factory one's plastic. They're known to strip. Sometimes they're hard to get off. You need a special tool for them. It just made it convenient that you can just use a socket and just take off the filter cap, put it back on. After this will be lowering springs, which are sitting at my desk inside. So that will be the next spot. After that, probably some visual stuff. I definitely need to get a front lip. It is a very weird looking front end with the bottom going up and down like the way it does. Definitely need to do the crank hub. Any S55 guy knows exactly what that means. And then from there, it'll just keep going. I don't really have like a limit. I'll probably get pure turbos and things like that eventually, and hopefully break 700 wheel. Everything for the car has come from UroTuning. Working here, I can see the products before I buy them. Everything's quick and easy with us. So anytime we do anything for any customer, we try to make the process as painless as possible. So usually I'll make you the recommendation. I'll kind of give you like an insight of how something will feel before you buy it, because I don't want you to get something that isn't going to be the way you want it. It's the same thing when I buy car parts. The guys are double checking, making sure this right thing gets here, and it's been spot on ever since. Show-wise, the car hasn't made any shows yet. I just got it like 2-3 months ago. So it's been slowly just getting kind of prepped for show season. It's definitely going to go to a bunch of shows. We just got to kind of see how the build goes along and how it fits in. The way I got into cars was actually seeing a 300ZX back when I was like 12 or 13 years old, rolling in a parking lot, and it was a right-hand drive one that was imported. I just saw something about it. It just stuck to my memory. I could still, like, even today, 25 years later, see that car in my head rolling out of that parking spot. All right, so BMWs get a little bit weird depending on which model you get. So if you are new to the BMW world, a lot of the cars come with different packages. You can have sport packages, you can have performance packages, and they can all include different things, including things like valved exhaust. So when you're picking mods for a BMW, you kind of want to know what you have and compare it to something that you're getting. The main goal, the idea is just to not spend your money and have it go to waste. That's usually the biggest thing with like any BMW, especially M cars. M cars are always decked out, crazy suspensions, DCC. They're stiff from the factory, and some of the coilovers are actually the same spring rates as a factory setup. So if you're looking to improve it, you're not really going to improve it buying a coilover that has the same spring rates and stuff like that. So research. If you're doing it, I would say research is probably the biggest thing about being a BMW owner versus other cars. So my favorite thing about the car is the handling. It just feels really good. It's performance oriented. It's an absolute blast. Every time you take a corner at like high speeds, it puts a smile on your face. It's my least favorite thing about this car. It is also the funniest. The front grills, because of the bunch of radiators and coolers they have up front and auxiliary coolers on the side, that front end lets a bunch of trash get in there. So every once in a while, you gotta like drop your bumper down, drop the oil cooler, blow out all the leaves and cigarette butts. There's a cigarette butt right now, I can see it, it's white, hanging in the bumper. That is probably my least favorite thing. It's kind of annoying, but I also understand you can't really get around. You need all these coolers and stuff like that. What other car would I use as a daily would probably be, it wouldn't be as practical. I'll probably get a Porsche Cayman. Not the new one, not the turbocharged 4-cylinder. I like the old one with the actual flat 6 in it. That might be a little bit rough of a daily, being a 2-seater, not having too much trunk space. So it'd be between that and probably an M340i, just like the 3 Series with the B58. I wouldn't say it's like as super surprising as it is. Always kind of the weirdest thing about an M car, especially the F80, it doesn't have a park. So when you get somewhere, you just turn off the car. You let somebody else drive the car. They're usually calling you in a parking lot, asking you how to shut off the car. Having let my mom borrow the car one day and having her call me while she's standing outside trying to figure out how to turn off the car. Probably the only other interesting story is the wheels. I've never had a car that takes really, really crazy fitments, I would say. This car runs a 10 in the front and an 11 in the rear. Even though I know it fits, knowing the math and everything in my head, and I'm really good with fitments, I was doubting myself even though I knew I was right. So it's one of those ones that really never happens to me, but that is probably one of the weirdest experiences I've had having the car so far. The wheels are actually Brada CX2s. They just kind of came out with a flow-formed single monoblock. I saw it, I thought it was very unique. I kind of like the look of a split 5-spoke, and it's got like its own little details, like little pockets and everything in them. And it was just kind of like set. I've seen split 5-spokes on M3s. This is the only one that I found that didn't look like anything. The wheels are really, really light, and they were able to give me perfect fitment. No spacers, nothing extra. I didn't have to do camber. Literally bought the wheels. It's on a factory alignment, 305s, no rubbing, no nothing. The car drives absolutely phenomenal. Within the lineup of all the M3s, the F80 is probably going to fall somewhere in the, I would say it's going to be one of the most sought after ones. Probably not as much as like the E46, which is probably known as one of the best driver cars in existence, or like an E30. They're just ultra rare. Everybody wants their hands on it. It's the first M3. But comparing it to the other ones, it is probably the most performance-oriented one, I would say track-wise. They're not super comfortable. They're amazing at the track. And some of the other ones definitely had more street characteristics to it. So I think in the future, people will probably shoot after them just for like track vehicles and stuff like that. So I could definitely see their spot being reserved. They make great power, handling is amazing, awesome transmission. Just not the friendliest car in the street.